Hola. Hola, señorita. Mi llamo es Senor Papi, and not Zorro. And I want you to know, I am a lover, not a fighter. But for those of you who wants to challenge me, I love a good duel. Ha ha! On guard, mi amigo. And today, I got a great interview for you. A movie, it pretty much inspired the greatest story ever been told. And the movie I'm going to review for you today, is Don Juan DeMarco, made in 1995. What can you say about Don Juan DeMarco? Okay? What can you say? This one is a good movie, ever made. Of course, there might be some sexuality in it, but it's rated PG. PG-13, to be precise. Now, what's the story all about? Is because it's about a man, played by Johnny Depp. His name is Don Juan DeMarco. And also, Marlon Brando here, he plays a therapist who met Don Juan here and decided what is it about him? What is his problem? What is it that he thinks that he is Don Juan, the world's greatest lover of all Spain? Well, I tell you. You see, this one is actually based from a book. Based from a book a long time ago. Written by an English romantic poet who goes by the name of Lord Byron himself. But of course I heard that not many people even got the name right, you know? Some would call it Don Juan, others call it Don Juan. But to me, I think I like Don Juan better because it's Spanish. See? Anyway, let's get back to the story, shall we? One thing you should know about Don Juan, he himself wear a mask like I do. You see, he talks about his story long ago, when he was a little child. He understand what women like in his early age. And as he became a teenager, you see, as a little child, his mother let him become an altar boy at the Catholic Church. But sadly, his good looks pretty much caught all the nuns' attention. See. But as he grew up, his father teach him how to sword fight. And then he meets his English teacher, who tries to teach him how to speak English and, basic learning. But sadly, his charm seems to catch his teacher's attention. So, they both made love for the first time. Kind of remind me the first time I met my teacher. Of course, I was 18 at the time. Anyway, his teacher's husband knew that she was flirting around with Don Juan, so he challenged him to the death, and then made a rumor that he had an affair with Don Juan's wife, although it was a lie. So, Don Juan's father challenged him to a sword fight, but his father died. So Don Juan decided to take his vengeance and sword fight the teacher's husband to the death until he finally won. He finally won his first sword fight. But the problem is his mother didn't want him around Spain anymore. They thought he should travel, see the world. Little did he know that he gets kidnapped by a bunch of Arab slave traders, and they auction him off from a very rich sheik's wife who bought him off. Because being the sheik's wife, he'll be so busy with all the other wives he has. No time for the number one wife. So, as the sheik's wife was mesmerized by his looks, she wanted him to make love to her, but he cannot, because his heart belongs to his teacher. But she gives herself to him because she weeps over his sadness over the loss of his first love. So, Don Juan had no choice but decided to make love to the sheik's wife, and had him disguise himself as one of the women, so her husband never find out who he is, and ends up in the area where all the sheik's wife and mistress are at. Dios mío. Oh, I don't know, mi amigo, but I'm getting a little hot under the collar. But after knowing how exhausting it is to meet all those ladies in his time, and since the sheik found him and mistake him as a Roman, that's when it's time for him to leave. So therefore, the sheik's wife gives him a farewell while he's off to sail the seas. And then another sabotage came and ended up in the island in the middle of nowhere. And from out of nowhere, he meets a native girl in the island. He falls in love with her, and this was true love to her, because one thing he admires about her, that her beauty came from no lust, that her beauty is nature's beauty, the way God created her. And he wanted to spend his entire life in the island with her. But sadly, she asked him how many women has he met before he ever met her. And sadly, he told her how many. Disgusted over what happened, she decided to take his mask for shame and never see him again. And that is Don Juan's legend. Now, of course, in this movie, Johnny Depp tells the story to his therapist, played by the talented actor Marlon Brando. Now, Marlon Brando, he's playing as a therapist who's supposed to know about his story before his retirement. And knowing how old he is, Don Juan's story affected him. So therefore, he decided for a man his age, he should still be romantic towards his lovely wife, played by Faye Dunaway. And that's her right there, the lovely Faye Dunaway. So, he decided to make himself more romantic and more attractive by getting himself a workout machine to keep himself into shape. You know, you should learn a little something for you men. For those of you who love your wife, you should work yourself up to keep yourself in shape for your dear, lovely wives. Until he had decided, the therapist, he decided to let him take his medication so he can tell the truth who he really was. He finally did. He was just a normal man who had a huge crush on a very beautiful model. On a very beautiful model. Si, senor. But after he was rejected by her, he decided to go on acting like Don Juan. But it left an impression to this doctor and his wife that love is exactly incurable. Vaya con Dios. Adios. Now, this Don Juan movie wasn't the only movie they made. This Don Juan movie that they made a long time ago, back in 1927, there was a silent film here called Don Juan, starring John Barrymore, the grandfather of the lovely Drew Barrymore. Dios mío, that Drew Barrymore, she has a unique beauty. But I don't see what she sees in Tom Green. I mean, Dios mío, I don't even know what she sees in him. Ha! Let's see. And also, back in the talking era of movies, they made another one, except make it more like a swashbuckler movie. Ha ha! Swashbucklers is my favorite thing. Ha ha! And this one starring Errol Flynn, called The Adventures of Don Juan. Ha ha! And of course there were other Don Juan movies from other countries, but I can't get into them. But there is one they made completely from Spain. And this one is starring the lovely Penelope Cruz. Ah, Dios mío, Penelope Cruz. That woman, she is a woman with fine beauty. She's like wine. It never goes bad while age. It always stay good. But sadly, she is married to Javier Bardem. Lucky senor. Lucky senor. But they made this movie, Don Juan. No, I got to say, Javier Bardem, what a guy. What a senor. There are two Spaniard romantic actors we know today, Antonio Banderas and Javier Bardem. But one problem I do have with Antonio Banderas, what did he see in Melanie Griffith? I mean, he should be with Salma Hayek. I mean, whew. Dios mío. That Salma Hayek makes me feel hot under the collar. Si. But what did Antonio Banderas see in Melanie Griffith? I mean, she was very attractive in that movie, Milk Money, but after that movie, she seemed to lose her attractiveness, and her beauty seems to fade away. And she has this kind of voice, that horrible voice. It makes your ears want to bleed, and glass shatter, and dogs yelping at her. And even makes every dog want to go like this. Dios mío. And of course there's another Don Juan movie that is very current. Don't get me started on this one, but I've seen the traitor. I seen the trailer, but never was interested. This Don Juan. Starring the kid from Third Rock from the Sun, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And of course, two of the lovely actors in this movie, Scarlett Johansson and Julianne Moore. Such lovely women. Although I did hear that Scarlett Johansson is a little local, but still, she still is attractive. But one thing I got to say about this movie is it's not that interested. I mean, it's more modern, but all he does is he walk out and date women, have sex with them. And when he's not dating women, he watches porn. Although he falls in love with Scarlett Johansson's character, but he needs to stop getting into that stuff. But anyway, for those of you should read the book of The Real Don Juan by Lord Byron, or watch the Johnny Depp movie. Although I'm not so sure that Johnny Depp should play a character like this. I mean, he should be played by Antonio Banderas or Javier Bardem. But that's just my opinion, senor. Well, this here is my review for today. But next review, I'm going to review for you your favorite hero. The one who also wears a mask and carries a sword. Zorro! Ha ha! So stay tuned. My next review, I'm gonna review Zorro. And does anybody know that Zorro actually means fox in Spanish? See? Anyway, as for me, I've got to go. Women to meet and swoon, and places to go. So, alright!